As you can see, this is the lab analysis that we completed last week after our regular and irregular density labs. This video that you are watching right now is a review of some of the ideas associated with density, and it is to help you to correct and complete a new lab analysis. So let's take a look at the lab analysis that you see right here. One of the major things that we missed in this one was number one. Number one is asking you a question about the irregularly shaped object. Would it sink or float in water? In water, it sank, but the question is asking you about maple syrup. Next, you will see a question about Kyle and his pet rock. It is a question about irregular density. Mark, his pet rock, is put into the graduated cylinder. It tells you that the graduated cylinder was filled to 30 milliliters, and when he was put into the graduated cylinder, the water rose to 45 milliliters. Neither one of those numbers should be used as the volume. What should have happened was you should have calculated the volume. It should be 45 minus 30, and that would give you a volume of 15 milliliters. Then you can use that 15 milliliters as your volume in your density triangle, and you can do your 54 divided by 15 to get your answer for density. The next question is asking you about regular density. Many people missed this section right here. It says calculate the density of the box. The mass is already given to you. In order to calculate the volume, you had to do 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 times 3 is not 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So the volume of the box is actually 27. And that is where some people had a problem. On this page, you are being asked to find the density of an irregular object, which is right here with the pebble. If a pebble is an irregular object, you would describe how to find irregular density. To find irregular density, you're going to need to use a graduated cylinder. However, you're also going to need to use a triple beam balance to get the mass. Keep in mind what you're looking for is density, not volume. Many students found the volume of the pebble and did not continue through to the density step. In this question, you will need to find the mass, you will need to find the volume, and explain how you found the volume. And then you will need to find the density. The same thing will occur down here with the sugar cube, but instead of finding irregular density, you will find regular density. In regular density, you're doing length times width times height to find the volume. You would not put a sugar cube in water. You would not put a sugar cube in water in a plastic container. It is a cube, therefore you would use the length times width times height to get the volume. Again, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to tell how you found the mass, how you found the volume, and then calculate the density. This will be your new assessment for regular and irregular density. Please be sure to read carefully. In number 1, it is asking you about the density of an object in water. Please be sure that you read carefully. Number 2 is asking you about the density of an irregular object. It gives you the mass, and it tells you how to find the volume. You will use those and show your density triangle when trying to calculate the density. Underneath that, this is the density of a cube. It is a regular object. Therefore, you would use, on the bottom, you'll see that it also asks you what's the density. Many students missed that part on the first assessment. Please be sure that you use your density triangle, or at least density equals mass divided by volume. Lastly, you are going to find the density of an irregular and a regular object. You have a bear toy. It would just be one of the bear toys shown, and a Rubik's Cube. One of those is regular and one of those is irregular. When attempting to calculate irregular density, don't forget you will need to explain how you found the mass, how you found the volume, and then calculate your density. When doing regular, you would need a tool that is different from an irregular tool to find the density. And you will need to do an additional calculation. Please be sure you are thorough in your explanation. Good luck.